hip hop started out in the park. That is literally probably one of the most sampled and reused lyrics in hip hop history. So, my question, and we talked about it off camera, how old was hip hop when you discovered it? For me, hip hop was born on August, was it 13th or 11th? I want to say 11th, 1973. I discovered hip hop in 1982. My introduction was Run DMC's album, title album, Run DMC. It's Like That was my first favorite hip hop song. Now, mind you, I heard the Sugar Hill Gang. It was cool. I was like, what is this? But It's Like That. That was the record that had me like, what is this? What is this going on? See, because I had an older brother, have an older brother. So I'm big on this because I had to preface it this way because we're going to get into the generations, people's top fives and all other stuff. And I just wanted to be known that I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, and I've been around since first generation. I claim second generation to be fair, but first was my super introduction. Like we finally have little brother Devin Epps in the building. What you call it? If I was to ask him, does he remember the Curtis Blow America album? He'll look at me like I'm crazy.
They go, what?
Exactly. And that's
what is that?
That's okay. Right. So, when did you discover it? How old was hip hop itself?
I'm thinking it was about 82. The Message. Run DMC. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking about, it was 9 years old, right? I'll say 9 to answer the question because we're going to go in.
Yeah.
Right, it was
9. Negro, how old was hip hop when you discovered it?
Probably around, I'll say, so 85, 86, so what's that, 12?
13.
Yeah. 12, 13. And it was Run DMC, man.
Yeah.
It was Run DMC did it. It was like they was everything.
King of Rock album.
Yes, they was King everything to me. I mean, down to whatever is black in my closet. I'm gonna put that on real quick. I had some. I didn't even have no Adidas then, but I had like these black jeans with this black button-up shirt. It wasn't even like. And then I had some white and black British Knights. And I took my shoelaces out the British Knights.
That was before. See, this was a time where nobody's going to tell you how to dress. The streets dictated what was going to happen. Yeah. See, a lot of the younger cats would be like, "Oh, these hip hop heads, these purists." I'm like, well, somebody had to be it because everything wasn't. Nowadays, everything's about, you can market anything. You can, there's 2 million people that'll be into choking your shoelaces, and they'll all do that. Yeah. And you can get away with that and have a successful career. Yeah. We remember a time where it wasn't 1,000 rappers out. Right. So it was like, the ones that actually did it, and it's like, this is why I don't like when they say, well, they was whack back in the days. I hate when they say that because I'm like, stop it. I call those Back to the Future arguments because don't tell me that Jay-Z is better than Run and DMC and Kumo D and them because then I'm going to be ignorant and turn around and be like, well, what was his album in 82? Oh, my fault. In 82, he was doing the exact same thing I was doing. Right. Listening. Just like everybody else. Like, you don't. So my thing is we'll get into that generation as well, too. But it's like, just the preference. Why I chose to start where it's at is because, first off, how many of y'all seen Crush Groove in the theaters?
Oh, boy. Look.
I did not. My uncle was 10 years older than me. He put me on everything hip hop. He brought Crush Groove to the crib on VHS. everything. Like when I was listening to Run DMC, when I was listening to De La Soul, they was all his. That was all his stuff. So that's why at such a young age, I was like, I fell in love with hip hop at such a young age because, you know, all this stuff was above me. You know, 86 years, I was 5-6 years old. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm watching MTV all day because they got one rap show. Yeah. So I'm watching rock and roll all day just to get to one rap show.
Yo, I went to the movies to see Crush Groove, right? My older cousins took me. And I smiled when Will said, mention Run DMC. To the death of me. I got a tattoo with my wife's name on my arm, but I got the Run DMC bars. I got a name in between it. Like, for our 10-year wedding anniversary, she took me to see Run DMC get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm a Run DMC fan.
I know that.
To the core. So when you mentioned the Adidas, right? Definitely had those. Now, my parents couldn't afford to allow me to take the laces off. Put them shits back. But definitely the Adidas sweatsuits, me and all my homeboys, man. So, 82, right? When I fell in love with it, though, when I'm starting to press play, record, pause, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you had to do with Don't You Know, right? To record it and to write the lyrics down and then press play again and then remember it and recite it. I remember doing that in middle school, and it was the lyrics of Run DMC, right? Crush Groove, love it. As a matter of fact, shortly after I started teaching, back in 99, 2000, I remember it was a terrible snowstorm, like 99, 2000, and we were stuck, and I had to have surgery that prevented me from working for some time. My oldest daughter, she and I would just order Chinese food, and I'll play Crush Groove on a VHS tape. Right? And we watched that, man, I'm talking about 100 times, Jack, to the point where my kids can quote some of their favorite lyrics or favorite, you know what I mean, movie quotes from Crush Groove. Love it, man. Love it.
This was my thing about that era because here in that era, it was just introduction. So my people were, of course, Run DMC.
Yes, sir.
Crush Groove, when Run throws the mic and they get into It's Like That. Yeah. First off, the director, I think it was Stan Lathan, they were, the dope thing about Crush Groove was this. Y'all know that was Blair Underwood's first movie. Everybody, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, shout out to Blair Underwood. That was his first movie. That's why I said introducing Blair Underwood. Right. Everybody in Crush Groove played themselves except for
Russell.
Except for Russell Simmons. Except for but yet Russell was in the movie. He was just a promoter like that. I always thought that was cool because to me I looked at Russell like Russ knew like I ain't no actor and I'm probably gonna sound terrible. So let this young man be me and I'm just going whatever. Curtis Blow played himself. So that's why when people So that's why when people be like they hear you it's like tricks. People like if I ruled the world, they say Nas. I said I think Curtis Blow. Definitely. I think Curtis Blow when I hear If I Ruled the World. You see something like that. Yes, I recognize Nas did it. And I don't even like to say better or not because I'm looking like you got the idea for me. I'm never giving you the points over the person or whatever. So between that and Wild Style, see I didn't want to go to Wild Style because I knew that was going to take y'all a little too deep. But that was Wild Style I saw on VHS or whatever. But so for me, that corridor of Run DMC, but then it was still a little bit of Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, and then that's when LL came around. That's when things, because there were a few shifts in hip hop when LL came around because LL wrote It's Like That. That kind of, I took a little bit away from Russ.
He wrote the whole
He wrote it. He wrote it, and I dug a few times to make sure I was going. He wrote it. Like it wasn't even rumored anymore. Because at first it was rumored that he was writing for Run DMC.
He wrote DMC verse.
He wrote It's Like That. He wrote It's Like
That's
That.
That's hard to believe.
So,
it's hard to handle.
And the crazy thing is, so it gives more credence when Nas makes lines like Queens niggas run you niggas, ask Russell Simmons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you figure it's Run DMC, LL, such and such. Like, they're like, we're the ones that really held Def Jam down at the beginning. So that comment right there. But when LL came along, LL, first off, is the first one to introduce the whole GOAT term. But this is the thing with LL. To me, LL is one of the most pivotal persons in rap history because when he came out, he's one leg up on the sweatpants. We all remember the I'm Bad video. No rapper can rap quite like I can. He's the toughest dude out. Yeah. Then he turns around and says, when I'm alone in my room, that song is the most important because it gave everybody permission to make those kind of songs now.
Yeah. Now, don't forget, going back to Cali, that's pivotal. You know, he's a New York guy making a song about California way back then. Oh, yeah, that made, that kind of bridged the gap. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like LL is one of the most influential artists in hip hop history.
Yeah, that can't be argued.
Yeah, it's tough to be argued. That's why I don't like to. I used to feed into, and we'll get into that. I used to feed into the who's your top 5 of all time, and
he's not referenced.
10 years, he's not. Yeah. And 10 years ago, I made a conscious effort. I made no effort. I made a conscious decision. I will never engage. It's no more top 5s for me. I'm only going by errors because you can't just skip everybody that y'all were watching. Right. Like, you just can't do that. I know what LL meant to hip-hop, what he means to hip-hop, and I saw how people were rapping at a certain point. You see what I'm saying? Like that. And then he came along with his videos and everything else. Yeah. But then Rakim came.
Killed him. 86.
That 86
killed him.
I didn't think a year could get better than 86. To be honest, I didn't think, because we go on in the timeline, we want to go through every year, but when 86 came, you got to think about this. 86, when he dropped, 87, technically, when he dropped Every Beat for President, that people weren't rapping like that at all.
No.
This whole thing about, knowledge of self, I wasn't out there. That wasn't out there, and Rakim was a street dude. That's what made those records and things dope for me because the people that were actually the toughest ones for that time, they would be the ones, like you said in the neighborhood, nah, shorty, don't do this. Don't move like that. I never was blown away with the whole Rakim not cussing thing because I knew that to not be true. Right. He cussed a few times his record. Granted, it was a few times, but I'm not going to count that as, well, he didn't need to curse. He said what he had to say, but he had a vocabulary.
Right.
He had a vocabulary. So
he was a writer.
He was a writer.
Exactly. A writer. Yeah, he's a writer.
That's what he would do and everything. Yeah. So for me, my first group of top 5 were Rakim, no particular order.
Okay.
Rakim, groups, instead of grouped, Rakim, Canvas One, Chuck, Cool G, and Big Daddy Kane.
So this just the 80s. You going
80, put that 87 to 88, because I still to this day believe 88 is the best year in hip hop history.
So how many groups do you have?
No, that's my group of. I put them in the group.
Yeah, that's the group of.
That's those are the supreme ones.
Oh, they the supreme ones.
86 to 88, and I believe 88 because I want y'all to go. 88 to me is the best year in hip hop. Period.
Why is 88 the best year in hip hop?
I'm going to tell you why. Because everything that spawned after that was based off of 88. And this is what I also added to. This is why 88 was not just big in terms of hip hop with me, why I said 88. And it's a little cheat code. Who, like this, who was on top of the R&B charts in 88, musically? This is a simple answer. Y'all know who it was. That's the easiest answer.
Bro.
No.
Michael Jackson.
Yes. Say it again.
Michael
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Who 88 also, who was on top in terms of comedy?
Eddie Murphy.
Who was on top when it came to boxing?
Mike Tyson.
This is all 88. This is all, like, I think pop culture exploded based off of 88 because of all the people. Think about it. All the people we just named is all those people that came afterwards favorites. They're all their favorites. This is just my theory, and we had to talk about it all. But I'm just saying that's why I feel 88 was the most pivotal year. And maybe I shouldn't say in hip hop, even though it does have a lot of that. Pop culture was spawned in 88. I'm not saying it wasn't spawned all the time, but that was this height. Like, those were the people we're naming. They were considered, to this day, they're still considered the best of all time for that thing. Like, as great as Kevin Hart is, I'm not picking on him.
Yes,
He's not. No, well, what you call it? Chris Rock, okay, to make it fair for y'all.
Yeah.
Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, all them, they all Eddie's sons. They all Eddie's sons.
I can go with that.
You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you that, yo, we watched him do it. That's how we know it was real. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson. I didn't know that it can get better than Thriller. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, first off the Wall was crazy.
Right.
Then he followed up with Thriller. It was like, geez, like, this dude don't miss. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. And it's Mike. You know what I'm saying? Then we know what Mike Tyson was doing, taking people out. Right. We watched Mike Tyson fights for him to beat somebody in the first round. Right.
Yeah.
Just for, like, if it went to the third round, be like, you slip it up, Mike. Right. So, and if you think of the thing with also, and I see y'all wheel spinning. This is another thing with 88 for me too. 88 to me has the most recognized classics in real time. This is what I'm saying. People have a lot of classics. After a couple of years go by, Nas had a quote on on the new album, KD3. He was like, I didn't have to die for people who call me the great one. Didn't take a couple years. People said it from day one. That's how I feel about 88.
So you gotta tell me, give me. You know I'm an old dude, man, and I'm sitting.
You trying to figure out 88? And little brother, I need you to look it up too.
Yeah, give me the 88.
Look up 88.
Give me the 88.
The albums. Just look up hip hop albums. 88. I'm going off the top.
Yeah, off the top.
Okay.
Give me 88.
88. Well, 87, 88. That corridor.
Wait, time out. So I know.
I count Paid in Full as part of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. As part of that
87, 88 thing, yeah, because of like the dates and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw Paid in Full in it.
You throwing Paid in
Full? I'm throwing Paid in Full in it. But it's a cheat code because I'm kind of throwing 86 to 88. I feel that was the one though. When it opened 86 up. 86 to 88. I'm not even gonna hit you 89.
So are you just giving me that? You giving us the albums or you giving us the artists?
Artists and album.
And album. Okay, go.
Paid in Full.
Okay, Eric B. and Rakim.
Criminal Minded and By Any Means Necessary. KRS One.
BDP.
Okay. BDP. It takes a nation. That was 90 though. Okay. Yep. But that first one. But that was.
It takes a nation and millions to hold us back.
Yo, Bum Rush the Show. Bum Rush the Show might have been 89ish or whatever. I might have been the second one. But It Takes a Nation. Yes. Fine. 88 also Strictly Business. Yes. EPMD.
Without a doubt.
What you see what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane's first album.
Long Live the King.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Long Live the Kane or whatever. Ultra Magnetics. MCs. Ultra. That joint. Okay. Coogee Rap. Came out with it. No, he's 90. He's 89. He's 89. He was 89. Okay.
Follow the Leader.
Follow the Leader. Go ahead. Go down the list.
Follow the Leader. Straight out of Compton.
Yes, NWA.
Great Adventures of Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Light as a Rock.
Yes.
Straight out of Jungle. Going Off. Bismarck E.
Yes.
He's the he's the DJ. I'm the rapper. DJ Jazzy
Jeff First Prince.
In Full Gear instead of Sonic.
Yep.
Tougher Than Leather, Run DMC.
Yes.
Power, Ice-T.
Yep.
Control, Volume 1, Marley Marl.
Stop right there. And that's why I'm glad he said it. That was the symphony. I thought, to me, that was the best posse cut ever for years.
Arguably.
I'm still kind of on that fence, like,
arguably.
This might be arguably the best
The
posse
symphony came
cut.
out in 88?
Yes. This is what I'm saying. All those albums are 88. All those albums were 88. Go ahead. Keep going down the list. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Bad from TV is the best posse song, but we're gonna keep it going. Born to Be Wild, MC Shan. Life is too short. Too short.
Yes.
Assault with a Deadly Pepper. We know who that is.
Salt and Pepper.
Too Hype, Kid and Play.
Yes.
Let's Get It Started, MC Hammer. Smoke Some Kills.
Stop right there. And Hammer album went crazy.
It did.
That album went crazy. He outsold everybody on that list. But we gave him credit. But the whole thing is this. Back then, we knew he made the most money. But nobody never said he was the dopest. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because it wasn't based off. It was based off your songs and your bars and how you came across. Hammer, we know his background. You know what I'm saying? Being from Oakland and all that. We heard the stories and everything. It's all true. But he didn't get the pass just because he made money. He had his own flavor with him, stuff like that. Yeah. And I just kind of feel that 86 to 88 corridor opened up the doors for all the 90s stuff. Now, granted, of course, time goes on. But I just feel what how Deb just said, banned from TV.
Nah, that's a crazy year, though.
I'm cool
that's
with
that's a crazy year.
It gets deep.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
It's deeper.
88 is that year.
Just some honorable mentions. 2 Live Crew, Move Something. Backed by popular demand, Curtis Blow. Supersonic, JJ Fad.
Yep.
Coming Back Hard Again, the Fat Boys.
Rob Bass came out in 88 too.
Right, yeah, It Takes
His
Two.
album just
Oh, God. It Takes
The world's
two.
greatest entertainer, Dougie
Dougie Fresh joint came
Making
out.
Trouble, Ghetto Boys.
Yep.
So we didn't have no other year like that.
No, that was that impactful.
That was that.
I don't think no, because this is the thing, and I want you to just debate it if you could. My thing is this: the reason why I said it like that is because
Pull up 89.
the thing is, this is what I think the problem was with 80. Why I say 88? They were considered classics in real time. Like I don't think like we knew. Normally with history, you always say, well, normally with history, you don't realize what's going on because you're living it.
Right.
In 88, when Strictly Business came out, EPMD made a splash. It was like, yo. Like, we didn't take a while to figure out how dope they was. It was
All right,
like,
so
these niggas got
That was the commercialization of it, though. It
Yes.
it was kind of the
Yes.
it was kind of when money started to be really
You
put
want
behind
TV,
it.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
That's who.
And to further his point, reading these album lists, they're offshoots of 88.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we do get 3 Feet High and Rising.
Yes.
We do get that in 89.
Was it 89?
That came out today, too, by the way. By the way,
So all streaming platforms. We also got Paul's Boutique in
Beastie
89.
Boys.
Beastie Boys.
But from there, we get Down by Forces of Nature, Jungle Brothers. We get Ghetto Music, that's Boogie Down Productions. We get Unfinished Business. We get It's a Big Daddy thing.
Mm-hmm.
We do get All Hail the Queen in 89.
Yes.
But
We
then
get DOC.
You get
90.
DOC.
No.
89.
That's 89.
DOC.
This is 89. No one can do better. It was 89.
Yeah.
89.
See?
89.
But now we got Road to Riches, 89. Cool
Yes.
Rap.
Yes.
We also have Biz Never Sleeps. We got Youngest in Charge, Special Ed.
Special Ed.
We got the Cactus album. We got Iceberg, Freedom of Speech. That's Ice-T in 89. We also get No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's Gangstar.
Gangstar.
But we get Kwame, the Boy Genius in 89 as well.
Some classics in 89.
No, it's definitely some that. But
Yeah, but I see his point though. A lot of this stuff from 89 is a continuation from 88.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You get Ice-T continuing.
That's because they were making albums.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a different pace than, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about quality material.
Yes.
You know, during that time. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And people will be like, well, why didn't Slick Rick or other people? First off, albums nowadays, you can all 4 of us can put together an album right now individually and you can put it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that kind of time. Yeah, you can't do that now, but now that's the thing. Anybody can make an album. That's my point. Anybody can make one right now. Back then you had to actually put like this. Everybody in here has written rhymes. And I've heard every single last one of us in there say some stuff. And see, the difference is we're educated even beforehand. So nothing we ever spit was whack. But the difference was this. We didn't hear Rod Kim and say, oh, I could do that.
Right. No.
It was like, okay, if I gotta step it up.
Yeah.
I wrote something good, but I didn't say that. Yeah. So I have to step it up. Yeah.
Oh, that used to be my bar. That used to be my bar of greatness. Like, I liked a lot of rappers, right? Yeah. So when I was heavy into writing, I would listen to rappers and pull something from them, like, oh, I should have did that. I should have did that. But my bar of greatness is when you do something that discourages me. Like, oh my God, I can't. I ain't got that in me. You know what I mean? Or, you know, and that bar raises as you continue to write and you continue to get better. You know what I mean? But hey, man, when I was 10 and I heard Kane, I said, oh my, he the best rapper ever.
The best rapper ever.
He's the best rapper. Nobody can rap like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I heard G rap, I was like, oh my God. Like, they're not good.
On that street shit early.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He was on that early. Then you said the DOCs and
they were all writers though.
Yeah.
And that's the word that we keep using. You know, they were all writers. And I think when you think of classic MCs or those who are elevated to GOAT status, like it's a difference, man, when you got a pen and a pad and you're writing versus punching in. You know, like when you're writing, you can edit. You know what I mean? When you write, you write a line, you write 2 lines, and you're like, hold up, let me think about that. Let me think of another word I could use. You know,
absolutely.
Like those MCs existed during that time. Everybody that we're talking about, I'm pretty sure they had a composition notebook with them somewhere, and they were writers. Yep. Unfortunately, like you said, the 4 of us could create an album, be encouraged by whoever we listening to on the radio right now, and do some punch-ins or some freestyles, and that's why they won't be considered a classic album or some of the GOATs.
I want to skip for a second.
Yes, sir.
Because I got to finish my tirade. And he knows where I'm going with it. Because I've been on it for the last 2 days.
I wish you would have told me. Tell me what it is.
No, I'm about to tell you what it is. He got to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
This guy, man.
Hear from the horse's mouth.
What is it?
I saw Gip's interview. Big Gip of the Dungeon Dragon family.
I enjoyed it. I'm going to throw it out there.
No, I'm cool with it. Because I'm not going to kill him fully.
All right.
But
I enjoyed it.
He knows I always say I didn't like his tone. I didn't like his tone.
First of all, watch your tone.
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
So this is my thing. I put a post out. I said,
you took your jacket off.
Yeah, because I knew this was coming. I said, Jay-Z will rap circles around Andre 3000.
I saw that.
I said, that's the post.
I saw that.
And it's absolutely true. I don't put this. I like 3000.
Yes, sir.
I'm more of a Big Boy fan.
Okay.
I think Big Boy raps better than him.
Okay.
But this whole notion that Andre 3000 is some top 10 artist of all time is ridiculous. Okay. And the thing about it is, this is why I know, first off, musically, he's cool. I like what he does with Outkast. He ain't a soloist. He came out with that album. Only song I can repeat off of that is, I want to say, what is it? Roses or Hey Y'all?
That's 2 songs. No, it is 2 songs. But that was a good album. It was a great album.
When was the last time you listened to it?
I listen to it all the time. You can't do that. It gets me in my creative juices. When I want to get creative, I listen to that album. But it's not. No, I'm talking about.
No, I wouldn't kill Kanye. Like that.
No, but I'll say this. To me, it's less of a rap album than people give it credit for. Okay. It's not really a rap album to me. You know, it's a lot of singing on there. It's a lot of creativity on there. You wouldn't consider Prototype a rap. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's singing.
We gotta get spicy. Fuck all that.
Get spicy then. First of all, I like 3 Stacks. I do.
Cool.
All right, go ahead.
Cool. I'm gonna ask it on camera anyway. Are you able to hear Dev? Are you able to hear him?
Yeah. I can hear.
Okay, no.
Just speak up.
Yeah. Actually, you probably, if you want to get,
go ahead. Yeah.
Let's get to the point. Can Jay-Z out-rap 3,000?
Easily.
100%.
Is it? Put
me,
this. No, because I want no.
Yeah, easily.
Is it? It's easily right.
Right.
So when I said the other day he'll wrap circles around them, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying.
I don't know. You got somebody in the room that look like he don't agree.
Jay-Z can't wrap circles around Andre 3000?
Nah, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say. But I saw your post.
Oh, yes.
Everybody wasn't in agreement.
No,
Of course they weren't.
Everybody was not in agreement.
No, and this is, put this, when people weren't in agreement, they said everything that I knew they was going to say because this is what people do with Jay-Z, a.k.a. the Big Joker. I'm going to tell you why I call. He knows I call. You know why I call Jay-Z the Big Joker?
Please tell me.
Because it's like, you know how to play spades, right?
I'm not good at it.
But you know,
I understand the game.
So you know
Right.
that the Big Joker,
Right.
The Big Joker beats every card.
Right.
No matter what you put out, there's no card higher than that.
Right.
That's Jay-Z. And this is what I mean by that.
Hold up. Wait.
Go
Time
ahead.
out. Nobody? Dead on
No
live?
card. No, listen. Only thing you can be is another Big Joker. That's it. I'm not saying during the game, but I'm saying Nas kind of could be a big. No, Nas is not a Big Joker.
So
He's
tell
a
me
little
who the other
joker.
big jokers are. Are there any other big jokers?
No.
That's what I said.
no,
Dead
there
or
aren't.
alive.
I don't think so.
There are,
No,
yeah,
no.
pretty much.
I asked
Pretty
the
much.
question.
He's very
Dead or
good.
alive?
Very good.
The other
The other two
Tell
are
me who
dead.
the other big jokers are.
No. First, you gotta explain
Jay-Z-
Big Joker because
Okay, no.
I know what you mean by Big Joker.
Good.
But
All right.
Want me to explain it?
go ahead, explain it. Yeah.
Okay, this is what I mean by Jay-Z's the Big Joker. We all know, all the people watching, they know the spades, whatever.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, there's not a box that Jay-Z doesn't check off.
Okay.
He checks off every box, like whether it's tangible or intangible. You want to say rapping, he checks that box off. Freestyling, he checks that box off. Making songs, he checks that box off. Features with women, dudes, he checks that box off. Money, he checks that box off. Business, he checks that box off. It's nothing he can't touch that way. Now the difference is this. This is where people get it twisted. People only bring up Nas versus Jay. That's it. Because that's the killer part to me. My thing is, you're not dissing Jay by saying you think Nas raps better. It's Nas. It's not a bad argument. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's put this, and I don't think Nas checks off every single box because Nas gets a lot of flack because he's not Jay-Z.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying like that? Well, this is how Jay moves. Why aren't you like that? You're the better one because it's deeper than just
So is
rhyming.
Nas a big joker?
He's a certain he in comparison to Jay-Z, he's still a little joker.
No joker.
Is
He's a
Snoop
little
big
joker.
joker?
Is who?
No,
Snoop.
no,
Nah.
no, no.
No. See, because
ahead.
what? Because
See where he's going with
Let's
it?
see where he's going
Snoop
with that.
don't check
No.
off. I mean, based on
don't
what you
check
just
off?
said.
check off what?
The categories, the box.
Listen.
No,
listen,
he doesn't. I'm gonna tell you why.
Snoop don't check off.
I can tell you.
No, you tell him why, then I'm gonna tell him
tell
why.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Because all right, there are a lot of rappers who rap better than Snoop.
Okay.
That's a part of being
That's
a
a
big
part of
But
it.
that's
All right, better than him. Okay.
that is a part of being a big joker, checking off every box. So if we put you in the ring and we only judging your rapping,
No, you can't do that. You shifting the argument.
no, but that's
You
what.
said Jay
Yes.
was the best
At
at
everything,
everything.
right?
You
No,
didn't say
no,
that.
no,
You didn't say
no.
that.
Okay,
Because there's some other people who can make better songs than Jay. Could
But
that not
that's
be
what I'm.
argued?
That's not what I'm
With-
talking about.
But you
What I'm
can't
saying is
say-
that, no. But what I'm
Hold
saying
on.
is
It gotta be
this.
consistent.
It is
It gotta be
consistent.
consistent.
Yes,
I know
it
where
is
he's
consistent
going.
because
I
he
know
didn't
where
say
he's
he's the
going.
best. He said he checks off every box.
He did.
Right.
Snoop
it's
don't check-
way a lot of rappers that rap better than Snoop.
Snoop doesn't check off every
That's
box.
not a box that he
So what
checks
we
off.
said, so,
Sorry.
okay, so I'm
He makes great songs, great music, great style. He's a classic artist.
Watch that
All of
before.
that.
Okay.
I want that to go before you go because I want you to get it out.
Yeah.
That's not
Drake can arguably make better songs than Jay-Z.
Yeah, he does.
But he doesn't rap better.
Exactly.
So that's why Drake can't check off that box.
Okay.
Wait,
So we say this. We'll say this.
Jay-Z can't rap circles around Drake either.
I don't necessarily. Hold up, though.
Circle.
No, Drake cannot rap circles around. He can't.
Like this, if Jay-Z and Drake is in this room, it's Saw. The killer is right there, and they gotta rap their way out. Who's getting out the room?
Drake getting out the room.
No, he not.
He might be double
not against Jay-Z.
Somebody,
come on.
Jay getting out.
Okay, but all right, to the point with Snoop. All right. So we said
out against Snoop.
So we got to bring Snoop back in. We're gonna bring the Snoop. Go
ahead, bring him back. Bring him back.
Jay-Z checks off every box, right?
Yeah.
All of the boxes, right?
Yeah.
Snoop gets out-rapped on a lot of tracks. But Snoop checks every other box.
Every box.
Every single other box.
All right, so then
So yes, all of these guys rap better than Snoop all of these years. Where them niggas at?
That could be argued.
So, but the problem is you arguing that Snoop is better than someone. All he said was he wasn't a big joker because he doesn't check every box.
He can consider a big joker because he checks
off every box.
He doesn't check off every box. He doesn't check off every box. You said he don't check off every box.
There's one box he's missing.
All right, that's not every box.
No, I need some clarification.
I hear what you're saying. I know he can't be the
What box do Jay don't check off? What box Jay don't check off?
I know Jay.
All right, then that's why he's saying he's the big joker because he checks off every box.
What I'm saying is that Snoop checks off every box but one.
You know what? I didn't want to go there. Hold on. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there.
What?
And I love Snoop.
All right. I love Snoop.
It was just Doggy Style. That's it. That's his one great album.
Okay.
He's Slick Rick.
Yes.
He's Slick Rick.
Yes.
He's Slick Rick.
He has one
in terms of that.
He has one great album.
That wasn't
500 great songs.
Right, but you didn't stop.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. This is why he's still around.
That's a fact.
Snoop can drop a track tomorrow and it'll go number one.
He's still around.
That'll be garbage.
No, put this.
That'll be garbage. I'm gonna give you 2 tracks.
Snoop is still around because he has likability. People love Snoop. Nobody dislikes
No. Snoop make good music. Don't do that. Snoop makes good music.
And it's never
every like 5 years he come out with a banger.
with a joint. With a joint.
Snoop done put out a gospel album.
He stays on TV and he gives you a
because he does that. Yes,
he's done an album.
He checks off every box.
Every box.
Now,
just can get
give me some
outright.
other big jokers though. Some other big jokers.
Put this. I think when y'all hear Big Joker, I don't mean that. Put this. If that's the case, everybody can check off a box saying they doing it. I guess what I'm saying, doing it at a high level.
Yeah. I'm talking about the elites. The elites. There's only like 5 to 10 of those guys.
A handful.
I'm talking about everybody don't check off the boxes. Like Jay-Z, Snoop.
Man, I wish we had some chart paper so I could see the boxes. So we could.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of guys that you can. I'll put it like this: a guy that checks off every box can host SNL as a rapper.
Who, Drake?
Those are the guys that can. Those are the guys.
Well,
that
Drake is likability too. He's the safest rapper in the history of rap.
No. Let's be real. Hold up. Let's be real. Let's be real. Drake is a big joker.
Thank you.
I never said he wasn't.
Is Jay a big joker?
I was the one who said he couldn't rap.
Is Jay a big joker?
Yes.
Well, you talking to me. You talking to me. You talking to me. Ye is a big joker.
Come on, man.
Yes, he is.
Come on, man.
It's only a few. I'm saying.
But it don't go too far back past that.
No, I'm saying Kendrick and Cole. And that's the line right there.
Kendrick and Cole are big jokers?
Oh, that's the line right there. That's the line. That's when the bouncer puts the velvet rope back down for me. Sorry, fellas. This is where it stops.
Hold up. Kendrick and Cole.
Are they big jokers?
No.
I don't know.
I love them both, man.
They check off all the boxes.
I'm telling you guys.
J. Cole don't make no great songs.
Listen, from the other side.
J. Cole got a classic album.
Hip hop may be a bit better than you guys.
Yes, he does. You're not a J. Cole fan.
Dad.
J. Cole got a classic. Forest Hills Drive is a classic album.
This side of the fence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Kendrick and Cole are goats. Okay? They're untouchables.
Kendrick got a classic album too.
Kendrick, Cole, and Drake are the 3.
Kendrick got a classic too.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
Kendrick might have
It's generational.
Kendrick
It's
might have
definitely
too.
generational, and that's cool, and I get that. What I'm saying is this. This is because the thing about it is this, and y'all made some great points. So yeah, all right, it's other people that check off boxes too. So what people like to do is always strip my man Hove. Well, take this away, take this away, take this away. Yeah. I say, cool. Let's take it all away. Right. You know what I'm into? The Saw room. You gotta rap your way out of this room to die. Jay is getting out the room. First, now I'm not saying he's the only one that's gonna survive.
Right.
But if it's 10 people in the room, and what's the dude from Saw? The whatever his name is. What do they call it? Jigsaw. Thank you, brother. Jigsaw.
I mean,
only five.
for real?
Only 5 of you are getting out of here.
All right, let me
you got Jay in the room. You got Jay.
Let me make him mad.
You got Jay in the room. You got Kanye in the room. You got Drake in the room, and they like this. Kendrick and J. Cole, all these dudes, and they're like,
I'm about to make him mad.
We're gonna play a game. Only 5 of you getting out. Jay's gonna do this. Okay, let's go. Start the joint. Because he was like, I'm getting out of here in one verse. I'm getting my first verse.
I'm gonna be real though.
Right.
3,000 might get out of that room. Just gonna be real.
When is he getting out?
Huh?
Who's he getting out?
You just said he got a rap. One verse.
When is he
might
getting
get out of that room.
You know what? And what? That's a special.
Hold up.
One verse, he getting out of that room.
One verse. That's for one verse.
He probably
might get a Grammy.
But hold up, because we're being disrespectful.
No, I'm not.
I said we.
Who being disrespectful?
Is Weezy a GOAT?
Yes.
A big joker? We talking big jokers now.
He is.
Is Weezy a
Holy
big joker?
shit.
He is.
Well, I didn't expect that to come out of his mouth.
Weezy's a big
No, once again, don't get it twisted.
Okay.
I'll put this. Weezy has pulled something off that will never be done in hip hop again.
What's that?
The shit that he said, nobody else will never say that shit again and be as successful. And on top of that, I don't even care about Weezy doing that. I know for a fact, and I'm glad you said that, Weezy spawned a whole generation.
Oh, yes,
100%.
So I can't put this.
All these guys,
I
these
don't
kids.
want them. They are definitely his sons, his offspring, and I can't take. Put this. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I definitely can't take that away.
It's a lot of big jokers.
But I tell you what, put Weezy and Jay in that room. Only one of you guys getting out. Jay is like, damn.
Jay getting out the room.
So what you want me? So what you want me to tell, baby? You know what I'm saying? What you want?
I think what you're trying to say.
Out the room
I think
Hov?
what you're trying to say is against anybody, Jay is getting out that room.
I don't see. See, this is the problem. The only one. It's literally something.
If only one person gets out
there.
there.
It's one person.
If
That's gonna probably keep him in that room.
Style battle.
You know who?
It's Jay.
It's only one person getting Jay out the room.
Who getting Jay out the room?
Esco. That's it. He's the only one that's played this, and that's gonna be played this. What I mean by that is this. I believe Jay will get Wayne out the room in 3 verses. Just 3 verses. No beats, none of that. Such and such. Just straight bars. He get out the room by the 3rd round. I'll give Weezy some credence. He's gonna fight back, and he's gonna do a good job fighting back.
Nah, Jay getting out that room.
But Jay gonna get out the room.
I'm talking about against Nas. Jay getting out that room.
What about M?
Jay getting out that room.
What about M?
M is going to.
What about M?
M is not getting out the room.
M not getting out the room?
Not against Jay or Nas. Sorry. He not.
You don't have to be.
I don't think. Matter of fact,
I know the white dude. Jay-Z's not getting out the room.
He said what?
Not against him. Not against him.
M not getting out the room?
let's talk about M for one.
Because you already know immediately when I thought of M, you know what I thought of?
Renegade?
You know I thought of Renegade.
You know what's funny, but I'm glad you did. Y'all don't just set yourselves up. I'm glad you thought of that.
I'm just telling you, I thought of it.
Thank you. I'm glad you
fell into the trap.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
He did.
He fell
That's
right
what I'm here for.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you why I'm glad he said that.
Please tell me.
It's because for the same reasons why people revere Andre 3000 is why people look at that Renegade verse.
Tell me what the reasons are.
When Nas said, Eminem murdered you on your own shit, nobody was thinking that prior to Nas saying that.
No,
Yes, they
literally.
were. Yes, they were.
Who was saying it?
Yes,
Who
they
said
were.
it?
A lot of them, A lot of people. I wasn't saying it, but a lot of people. No, we wasn't all saying it. We
I
wasn't all saying it.
And I heard that verse 1,000 times. I thought it was cool.
Nah.
I thought it was cool.
Listen, after Dead Wrong and Renegade, I was like, damn.
You counted Dead Wrong?
Nigga, I was like 10 years old. Yeah, I counted Dead
No,
Wrong.
that's what I'm saying. You can't. I'm not counting nothing. Yo, it's like my man Kiss said. It's like my man Kiss said against 50 Cent. I did real songs with Big, no made up shit. So you know, Big been dead 20 years by the time. I would hope you are verse a dead nigga whose song you don't heard such and such.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I gave Jay-Z.
12-year-old mind.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I love that M verse. Yeah. But I think a lot of sauce was put on it because it was next to Jay-Z. I think a lot of sauce. No, nobody. I don't think M outrhymed Jay-Z on that verse.
What I'm saying is this: whenever Jay-Z on a song with somebody, it's if the person has a good verse, yeah, you out rap better than Jay-Z. You know what that was? That's Michael Jordan that averages 30-some-odd points. If you got 20 that game, you did work against something. It's relative to what it is. It's the standard. What you got? I gave Jay flack. When people were like, yo, Jay killed Big on Young G's. I'm like, that was a freestyle from Big did. When Big was alive. I remember the freestyle because it was on my man, shout out to my man Doo-Wop. It was on his tape, an SNS tape. So I'm looking like, Jay, he did a verse, he rhymed over a joint that Big had did 4 years before he died. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not giving, credence to that. What I'm saying is this. That damn Andre 3000 should not be in the top 30. I'm sorry. He shouldn't be in the top 30.
And what's the category?
Rap. He can rap. He's nice.
Don't do that. Don't say he can't rap.
No, I'm not gonna say he can't rap. My thing is this, and I'm about to. You talk about. See, I'm glad he told me earlier he wanted to get me mad. I'm about to get you. That damn Black Thought shouldn't be in that top 28.
Whoa!
Man, yo, this nigga.
Whoa! Don't get up,
He has lost.
Let him out. Get the camera.
What is we talking about? What are you talking about? Are we talking about rapping? Are you talking about rapping?
This is crazy. Notice, play this. Look what he said. And I'm glad y'all don't know. I set you up. You talk about rapping.
Yeah.
Black Thought ain't no new artist. You can pull that. See that.
All right.
Let me talk tax bracket. That Hot 97 freestyle was dope. But you ain't new, nigga. I knew you can rap since 96.
Man.
It's the kids that got gassed by that one. So my thing is this. To me, when I heard that freestyle, this is how I responded to it. Yes.
Yeah.
It was dope. Yeah. But it was just dope because I know you can rap. It got legs because a lot of the new younger audience never seen that, and people aren't rapping. People aren't people aren't going to radios rapping no more. People don't go to radio stations and rap no more. So the fact that he rapped, that's why everybody was like, all the newer fans, yo, he rapped, we ain't used to that. Nigga, you were out with the Roots. You don't have a solo album. You don't check off that box.
You can't do that.
I can't do that.
No, you can't. You can't do that because he was the lyricist of the group. No. The whole album was him. The whole album was him.
Like it's him.
And he was the only one rapping. Everybody else was a feature. The Roots is Black Thought. That's what it is.
And so, the Lox albums are Lox albums. Jadakiss has an album. Chic has an album.
So what?
Styles has an album.
So what?
When I see your albums, put this. When your album says The Roots and not Black Thought, it's a group project.
But that's corny. That's like saying, yes it is. That's like saying Eric B and Rakim is a group, so Rakim don't got a solo album.
They technically work.
I don't care. So Rakim don't got a solo album. That's crazy.
He does.
What are you talking about? I don't care. Eric B for President was Rakim's classic album. What are you talking about?
What was the Roots classic album?
It doesn't. All of them. If you want to go by me,
please, gas them all you want, because I was there in Morgan listening to the Roots joint. They was cool. Them niggas didn't. They were cool.
Yeah. So that was it. Nothing.
I need to ask
Are the Roots a top 5 group?
I need to ask a question though.
Exactly. Not even close.
Clarification.
They're not even top 10, honestly.
Are you saying
we talking about a rapper though?
Black Thought shouldn't be in top. What did you say?
He's not a big joker. Like that.
No, he's not a big joker. But what you said
what he said
is he shouldn't be in the top nothing.
Right. I don't think the argument was.
I said top 20. You right.
Oh, you out of your... As far as rappers, what are you
talking
talking about?
No, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. People picking and choosing when they want to say why they're there. Jay is a solo... I'm just besides Jay. Jay, Nas, the Ice Cube stuff. These niggas got solo albums that did numbers and they did their thing.
I don't care.
No, listen, that's the whole thing. You don't care.
But your post was... You said that Jay can rap circles around Andre. You didn't say he was a better artist. You You didn't say he was better at making songs. You said he can rap circles around Andre 3000. And I agree with you, but you can't just change it whenever you feel like it. If we're talking about rapping, we're talking about rapping.
My thing is this. If you are that dude, you're automatic. Put this, Jay doesn't go out to check off the boxes. When you're that person, you're just checking them off as they go along. All I'm saying is this: impact matters. That's who. Impact matters. Because if that's the case,
it doesn't.
No, it
not
does
when you're talking about rapping.
No, it does matter because if that's the case.
All right, then just say artist then.
No,
just say
if
artist.
that's the case, that whole list is wrong. The whole list is wrong because there's a whole bunch that the Billboard Top 100.
It is wrong.
No, that's the case.
You got to consider the source. My wife taught me this years ago.
Yeah.
She said, "Man, consider the source."
Oh no,
do we even know who? Did anybody take a chance to even look up to see who authored the list?
No,
because I bet if you did,
because I don't
you probably
really
only
care that
recognize one name on the list. See, I did.
You did. Okay.
I looked it up.
Okay.
Right? Like, yo, who? And you'll be quite surprised to see who actually came up with the list.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about giving credence or credibility. You'll question all that, but. What are we talking about? Are we talking about big jokers? Are we talking about who should? Because Black Thought, you can't sleep on.
What I'm saying is this.
And it got to be consistent.
Right.
Like whatever it is.
What we talking about? What we talking about? I can have an objective conversation.
What I'm saying is this. I personally feel to even get considered of being put on these lists, you have to have had an impact at least. My thing is, don't just tell me that you're nice. It's mad people that are just nice. But then that's it. Because if that's the case, the Cannabises of the world, them niggas is nice. But I ain't putting them niggas in no top 20 or nothing. Because they ain't really have no real impact. My thing is this. When it's split this, it's always the people that don't check off the boxes that niggas want to throw to the top of the list because, well, they can rap. Okay, yes, that's why I said that Black Thought freestyle was crazy, it was nice. But the reason why I wasn't impressed, not because I didn't think it was a dope freestyle, but I'm like, nigga, y'all don't know that's Tariq. That's what he does. That's what he does. So I'm looking like, nigga, you didn't put this. If that was the first time I heard him ever, I might have been like, oh shit, this nigga right here. Wait, when is this new album coming out? But it ain't coming out because you done been rapping for 40 years. You've been with the hip hop circles know you're nice. We know you rap. But in terms of making a splash as a solo artist, you've never done that. So I can't put you in that conversation.
God. You gotta stop with the solo artist. You gotta stop
he's not one.
Yes, he is.
Yo, I don't recall one part in hip hop history. But like this, watch this, and you want to get mad, and I hope you got something back to say about this. The story of hip hop can be told without Black Thought.
Huh?
The story of hip hop can be told without Black Thought.
So
I don't think so.
I disagree.
Go ahead, Dev. Oh, you disagree?
Yeah.
Because
I
it
disagree.
can't be told
Because the story of hip hop can't be told without Philadelphia.
Damn it, Huff ain't got nothing to do with it. That's the Philadelphia
you
sound.
gotta rap. Philadelphia got impact.
100%.
And if you're gonna speak about Philadelphia,
yes, his name is Will Smith.
If you're gonna speak about Philadelphia,
crazy,
you can't speak without referencing Black Thought. Don't do that, homie. Don't do that. You can't do that. Not that.
Black Thought got more impact than Will Smith.
What I'm saying
on hip hop, yes. Yes.
He does?
Yes.
Real hip hop.
I'm just
Look what you said. On real hip hop, but on hip hop? On the global scale?
Yes.
You think them white kids?
Where Black Thought work right now?
The Roots work for late night television.
What are you talking about?
They are one of the biggest fans of all time.
They're not better than Apollo joint, but anyway. Them niggas been doing it. They've been doing it.
You is a hater.
But look what you're saying. Look what you're saying. We talking about Questlove with the Afro pick. You're still naming a group niggas. When have
He
you ever
is the
said-
rapper of the group. He's the only one.
He's the MC.
He's the only one.
Nah.
Whenever you hear a Roots
That's
track,
crazy.
the lyrics are written by.
That's like, oh my God, Jay-Z and Guru is a group. Yo, this nigga raps.
No,
what are you talking about?
No, a nigga came to me and said, Joe, Reasonable Doubt or Player or Southern Playalistic. I was like, oh, you mean Outkast's album?
Yeah.
But it's another guy rapping on that. Like, it's actually two guys that rap.
Who's the nigga that be doing the voice shit?
Who, what?
Rozelle.
Yo,
Got funny niggas like that? Fuck out of here.
you see
Yo, all I know is this. If you're making a hip hop movie and a nigga, let's say a dumb motherfucker that just like, oh, I forgot about the Roots. Movie still probably be pretty good.
No,
Movie still be pretty
wouldn't
good.
be authentic.
Yeah, what?
No.
Yeah, what? Because
leaving out Philly is crazy.
No. Listen up. He wants to throw, and I love when they do that, when they like to throw the group in there. Oh no, this same motherfucker that forgot about the Roots, he brought up Will Smith. He brought him up.
Who?
Because we just saying, hypothetically,
Okay.
white boy Roy say, parents just don't understand. Nightmare on My Street. We got Philly covered. I promise you, nobody will feel slighted but people from Philly. The rest of the world is like, okay.
That's not true.
Good part of the movie.
That's not true.
Only
people who only people who know nothing about hip hop. Anybody who knows anything about hip hop will feel slighted.
State property.
Yes.
That's a major part of hip hop.
Did you talk about the movie that Dame Dash made?
I'm talking about Beans.
I'm talking about Beans Siegel.
What does it mean? What do y'all mean by Philly impact?
Stop.
No, Philly had a sound.
No, they don't. No,
Philly had
the Philadelphia sound
Philly had
that
a grip.
Gamble and Huff started. I'm talking rapping. Them niggas got crazy spinners. That ain't the argument. What I'm saying is this.
All right, we about to keep it real.
The Roots.
All right, I'm about to keep it real. I'm about to keep it 100. Because you're not going to do that to Philly. You're not going to do this to Philly. No, you're not going to do this to Philly. No, we talking about...
If he's not talking about 10 trees,
No, chill.
So, he going crazy on y'all right now. If he say anything about YBS School, I'm going to say...
I'm not. Hold up.
We are not saying anything about them niggas.
You are safe. You are safe with that.
So he going crazy on Philly right now. So you
He is. All right, but let's be real. Let's be real. We talking about the sound. We talking about the sound that had a lot of influence on the Big Joker.
Yeah.
You
Jay-Z.
went for that?
Huh?
You went for that?
I went for what?
I always used to let you say that because
I
my
went
thing
for
is
what?
this. That whole Young Chris, he started rapping like...
Nope, now I'm not talking about Young Chris. Not talking about that.
So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole. Jay took something from every last one of them. Every last one of them.
Beanie's my favorite artist from Philly, period.
Every last one of them, Jay got something from. Every last one of them, Jay took something, a little piece of some of that Philly stuff and put it in his stuff.
I'll take it a step further and say that the type of pain beat that you hear now in hip hop and music, that's a Philly derivative.
I know.
That gritty sound that
I play.
You can't talk about hip hop without talking about Philly. You can't do that.
No, I didn't say Philly.
the roots.
To the Roots.
But you got
The movie will still go on. I don't think. Put
And
this.
if you talk about Philly, you got to talk about the Roots.
No,
You
see,
gotta
no,
talk about
but
that.
that's
You got to.
Put this. No, listen. That's a Philly thing to say you gotta talk about it. So basically this is how I view it.
No, that's a hip-hop thing.
This'll be me. This is me. So they like, we get to the Philly part of it. And they like, yo, we're gonna bring up Will, we're gonna bring up state property, we're gonna bring up Beans, we're gonna bring up such and
Black
such.
Shark.
No, hold up.
Questlove.
They let's just say they forgot to bring them up. I'm pretty sure that part is still gonna be pretty good without them. Now it's gonna be Beans and I'm like, yo, you can't forget.
No, it's not.
Yo.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, you're not getting that off. It ain't gonna be Beans and them. It's gonna be anybody who knows something about hip hop.
What about Steady B and them? Cool seeing them.
Cool C.
Come on.
Exactly. Oh, you really push these niggas out the way.
I'm
Then.
just saying Philly though.
No, listen, my thing is this. If you put them in there once again, let's go, Steady B, Cool C, all the Schoolie D, you still only leaving these niggas out. That's what I'm saying. You pushing these niggas out the way.
I hate this nigga,
stop
man.
adding niggas.
This is going on.
And you better put major fingers in there.
Do that. Do that.
I like that.
Do that.
Play like this.
You see.
I like Ab Lava. I like Ab
I
Lava.
hate that nigga.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he's
but I just personally like
Hey,
him.
yo, don't do that. I hate you niggas.
Honestly, true. Ab Liver may be worse than Silk the Shaka. Like, I hate.
Yo, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, he's not. Don't do that. No.
He's the worst without a speech impediment.
Yo, don't do that.
So what I'm saying is this. Okay, fine. Let's throw the Roots in him. Since they want to be fine. Well, You know how long
this nigga's challenging our friendship.
Yo, you know, fine. You know how long the Roots gonna be inside the movie? About as long as Tupac was in Baltimore before he moved. Remember in All Eyes on Me?
Now wait a goddamn minute, he went to high school here.
Yo, in All Eyes on Me, all I know is Tupac went to school.
Don't talk about what that.
Hold up. All I'm saying is this. I'm just saying he went to school. School let out.
Let's go.
He spoke to Jada.
Let's go.
Yo, she spoke to him. He skipped. That nigga was in no transition. Yo, but this is the crazy thing. They didn't even give him the infamous scene that we all used to see him. We used to see him, the person that moves always, they showed him putting the bags in the car, and they showed him with the window shot. They didn't even give him that. That shit nigga went to the store, woke up, that nigga was in Cali.
Fade to black, fade back in Palm Trees.
Oh man.
Hold up, I gotta mess with Baltimore now.
Okay, all right.
Y'all do know Pac is really from New York.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So I've heard.
He was born there.
No, he lived majority of his life there. That's the funny. And you know what's so crazy with that? I really point this. I really consider him a West Coast dude because of how he repped it. Mm-hmm. But when I saw, now, I think his last semblance of being a New Yorker was when he did Juicing Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Right. Because I was like, this is not a California dude acting like a New Yorker. This is a New Yorker acting like a New Yorker. And if you notice, those are his two best movies. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was at his most natural point. Above the Rim and Juice. All that gridlock shit, that shit was... Well, I'm glad we opened that door. You know what I used to tell people? If Pac lived, he would have been a bigger movie star than rapper.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's who Pac is at his heart. He's an incredible rapper.
By choice.
I think by nature too.
No, I'm saying I think he would have been a better a bigger movie star than rapper by choice.
I can go for that.
By choice, because I think he could have whatever he focused in.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think his days was being numbered with rapping.
I don't. I think he was a. I think he was an artist.
I think he was a better movie actor. Because I believe Gemini. That's who he is. He gets to get more of his stuff out. I'm telling you, I always believe.
You is the most undercurrent hater that I've ever heard in my scene. Yo, I think his rapping days was numbered.
I'm just saying.
I just thought it was too many Hennessy's and enemies.
Yo, all I'm saying is that take Hennessy, enemies, penitentiaries away. He can't rap. He was done.
He got one. He got all he got is I get around after that. That's that.
Yo, I always mess with
I'm gonna tell you something, right? Because look, Will, Dad, we used to sit at work and had these arguments, right?
Yeah.
And he know the numbers better than I know the numbers, right? And I was thinking about this coming over here, right? A lot of this conversation be more emotional than logical, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, because I can never really argue. Tupac is my favorite, right? Mm-hmm. But I can never really put it into words. Why? Because we know as a writer, he may not have been the most prolific rapper, right? But I'm gonna tell you this. This put it in perspective for me. I had my mom in the car, 70 plus years old at the time. We driving. Pac was born, and my mother was like, "Man, who's this?" And I said, "Oh, that's Tupac." And as I was saying that, she said, "Man, I don't understand what he's saying, but I feel everything he's saying."
That's
and
what
I was like,
go for that.
I said, "Man, that's what it is."
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's not one where, like, and the way my mind works, I can't even quote and recite lyrics after, but what he said, I felt.
Yeah.
And when my mother said that, I was like, that's exactly
I can relate to that.
Yeah, that's it.
I can relate to that because Brenda's Got a Baby is a great song, but that nigga really said, Brenda's got a baby, but Brenda's barely got a brain. A damn shame.
It is a damn shame.
But you felt it though. Like I was feeling it. Like
he's also, yes, not only did he say that, he's also said, how many people want to ride with me? Yay. I'm like, see, it was
that's some West Coast stuff, though. He wanted like that.
Like this. He was all emotion and feel. This is why I said he would have been a greater actor because he gets to get all those emotions out.
Which is
he
also
can't do so much of that making music.
Which is also why he's so influential.
Oh no,
that's why.
That's what I mean by impact matters.
That's why he has such a great impact.
That's why I don't argue. Like this, I've always felt Big was the better rapper.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But impact is clearly pop. Like I don't like it's clearly
shout
pop.
Out to
and I don't think it's close. Like it's clearly pop.
And based on feeling, shout out to my man Torres. He don't care about no rapper. DMX is the best rapper in the world to him. Gotcha. He feel everything Pac said. He don't care about nothing. X. My bad. He said Jay-Z who X is the best rapper ever. And he will argue it down. And I understand why, if you know his personality, right. Then you understand like why he feel X like that. And I love X. You know what I mean? I feel like he put a lot of I feel like he rap better than Pac. But I feel like he put a lot of pain, a lot of feeling into it, and some of the stuff he said was just real slick. You know what I mean?
But
you know.
This is the thing with X. I like X too. What Jay-Z doesn't have, that other. This is. If that's the case, maybe it's this is a box.
I'm waiting to hear this.
Yeah. What Jay-Z
you
say
this?
Yeah, box.
What does
what he don't
This
got?
might be a box. It's not. This is a box he doesn't check off.
Which one?
Box is that?
It works for me, but for the masses, he's not humanized. Jay-Z, it like this. Yeah. He's telling you his life. Just think about this. Most people, and it sounds terrible. And I wish it wasn't like that, but that's just the reality of life. Most people don't really progress in life. They don't. That's why people don't understand. So when Jay makes a line when he says things like, it's the eventual triple platinum nigga with the solid gold fade. Jay is a hard look in the mirror. And when he makes lines, when he says stuff like, rap like life like a treadmill. Niggas running in place, getting nowhere fast. A whole year done passed. Mm-hmm. Yo, if you listen just to that line and be like, fuck it, then you like, let me think about what I did in the last year. And if you haven't done anything progressively, that shit is put it this, it's no longer a slick bar. It's a shit. Like, goddamn. That's what fuck what you meant like this. He's not humanized in terms of that. I don't mean he's not human, but people aren't going to like that. That's why with Jay-Z, they pick out money. They pick out pains and stuff. Oh, that's what he talk about. Actually, no, he talks about a lot of other things. But the problem is, I got to give credit to Will for saying this. With Nas and Jay, the thing that links them to me is this. When they rap, you know where they're at in life at that moment. They're not telling you something from before. And if they are, they've already letting you know that they're referencing it. They're not saying this is what I'm doing now. That's why Jay can make lines like, I don't be in the hallways all day. That sounds stupid to me. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm worth $1 billion. No, I'm not keeping it real in the hallway. I'm just not doing that. Right. But somebody else, yo, I'm still the same. We champion that. Yo, I'm still the same. I'm still here. Yeah. And that, for the reasons why I want you to go, for the reasons why a person can't relate to Jay going this way, saying I'm not doing that, is why they all love DMX. Because he did it. Exactly. He made it at a level, and still, you're liable to walk through School Street and this nigga's in the staircase and you like, oh shit, this nigga X is right here. So it throws a monkey wrench in what Jay is talking about, because it's like, wait a minute, he's done made movies. And I think he done made millions.
I think Jay did
right here in that same hallway.
Jay didn't really get humanized at all until later in his career, and it all had stuff to do with Beyonce. Even on Lost Ones, you know what I mean, and on 444, like that his mistakes, like when people rap about, he was kind of rapping either the highlights or the lowlights that you can't relate to. Like, I done lost all this money and I got it back and all that stuff. And most people don't sell drugs. You see what I'm saying?
Even the ones that sell drugs.
Yeah, don't do it like that.
We don't do it at this level.
And so when you hear him talking about him, losing his nephew, or when you hear him talking about his relationship woes and stuff like that, it kind of humanized him. But that's way later in his career. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Big had that over him too.
Plus, people envy success. So
that's
100%.
Yes.
Envy, people envy success. And as we're talking, I'm thinking, and Jay been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we talking about a 25, more than 25 year run in the public eye, and he's done everything that he said. You know what I mean? And it draws a lot of envy, man.
Yeah, it's the age old adage of consistency breeds contempt, and it's because we've seen Jay do this for so long, and to the point now where we're in the back end of his career, but we're getting things out like, well, he was never the best rapper in the year, and it's like, well, damn, isn't that even better that he was never considered the best rapper of that year, but yet and still we always consider him the best rapper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there, of course, there are albums that outsold him every year. Somebody outsold Jay-Z every year except for 2001.
You know what's interesting? Having this conversation, Jay never received his flowers. He's one who hasn't received his flowers.
Oh man, I get killed for this.
He hasn't received his flowers.
I get killed for saying this. Like, to me, Jay-Z is the most underrated rapper of all time.
He hasn't received his flowers.
And they kill me for saying that because people think he's the greatest. But I don't really think people understand how great he is.
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna tell you something crazy, and like I said, without even getting into that part of the greats, y'all know I'm a lyricist. It's words to me. I fall in love with words. Anything after that, that's just an added bonus. I'll give you credit for it, but it's the words that always grab me. I'm listening to a freestyle the other day, and this is a freestyle that I heard over 10 years ago.
From Jay?
Yes. And I was like, I just caught it yesterday. Yeah. A line in it. It was the Young Gifted and Black freestyle. Mm-hmm. When he said, I'm Chuck D standing in the crosshairs here. You know Public Enemy's signal is the crosshairs joint. Mm-hmm. Yo, I was sitting in the bed, I said, how did I miss this shit for 10 years? Yeah. And I know that freestyle, I've said that freestyle numerous times. Right. And I said, wait a minute. I'm Chuck D standing in the crosshairs here, and the Public Enemy logo is the crosshairs logo. He don't waste words. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then I turn around, it's the DMXs of the world. What's all the noise about? Have some respect. Shut the fuck up. Drive by. A nigga talking shit. Hey, yo, back the truck up. That's like shit. Not super lyrical, but it's like you see, like, oh God, like, that's something that a regular dude to do. Like, what, nigga? Yo, back up real quick. Stuff like that. So I don't kill everybody for not being at certain levels of lyricism, because I don't expect it, because I was in the barbershop telling people, I said, this is my thing about the content. Why I didn't like when they said, well, Andre 3000 didn't have to rap about the stuff Jay-Z rapped about to be nice. I'm like, well, if that's not his life, why would he rap about it? Mm-hmm. But this is my thing. I always use Onyx as this standard, because this is when I really started realizing this, back in 93. Onyx used to go to graphic arts high school. Mm-hmm. I've heard stories about it. They said your man Sticky Fingers used to have colorful hair. They used to call him like tropical sun. This is people that I know that went to school with the nigga. And they was like, yo, we ain't saying they were suckers, but they wasn't no tough guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when I didn't know those stories then. When I heard Throw Your Guns and Back the F Up and all their albums and stuff, you couldn't tell me they wasn't the toughest dudes. Yeah. And my thing is this, I didn't take credit away because they didn't actually do it, but they were able to put it out there that I believed it. Right. So I got to the point where I said, you know what? I know a lot of people that actually do what they're talking about, but they don't put it across the same way. So it doesn't matter. Like, you just telling me, yeah, I shot the nigga and he fell to the floor. They be like, yo, he actually did it. Yeah, but that shit was whack how he said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let somebody else do it. Right. Speaking of that, and we talk about somebody else who giving flowers, I'm going on record, and I've always said this. Ice Cube's Death Certificate is one of my top 5 albums across all genres. Period. Period. Put this. I've been saying that since it came out in 91. Nothing has moved it out of its spot yet. Nothing has moved it out. I'm talking about, to me, that's one of my top to bottom albums that I was like, that's one of the closest things to perfect albums. Okay. And not only was it perfect because the songs were good, they were in the right order too. It was like he started how he started, he ended with no Vaseline. It didn't drop. It didn't drop off dirt. It wasn't like, well, skip this. No, it flowed. The continuity of the album, and like I said, it hasn't changed. And it got to the point where I was trying to get it out. Because I'm like, we start somebody got to, you know what I'm saying? Something got to happen. Then it's like, nah, I haven't. And then I started thinking of just albums outside of rap. That's why I said, and I always mention it that way. Across all genres, it's in that top 5. It's certain albums like, okay, look about what's in it. Thriller is one of the albums in it.
Right.
That joint is 9 bangers.
Are there any other hip hop albums in your?
This one, I play around with this one. Criminal Minded from top to bottom. I'm kind of like,
you don't have a J album in there? And that 5 that you're talking about, across all genres. You got EDP and Cube and no J.
I got Life After Death. Because I'm gonna tell you, not just because that was Big's real last album, I remember the songs that started coming out after that album. And a lot of people got song ideas off of that album. Because think about this, when Big did the joint with Bone Thugs, and I know it wasn't a whole lot afterwards, but if y'all go back and you go back 97, 98, 99, all of a sudden niggas want to start, niggas that aren't known for rapping like that started making songs like that. It didn't last super long, but I just peeped, like all of a sudden, now y'all want to make these kind of joints. You know what I'm saying? When Big did Effing You Tonight, now people want to start messing with R. Kelly with the hooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't happening. Like, people like, we gotta go. Just like I used to say, the first time I heard nigga on the album was what you call it? It was Straight Outta Compton. But technically, the first time nigga was said that I remember after that was Ice-T on the Power album. But I didn't hear the whole Power album. I had to go back and listen to certain songs that I said, oh, well, technically he said it. You know what I'm saying? But they were called niggas with attitude. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that. So it was just like, yo, like, not to round it up, but it's like, when we talk about hip hop, this is why, and I'm glad we got all our juices out. This is why I don't like talking about top 5s ever, because you can't skip. Like, my thing is, you don't get to watch me. I'm just big on that. You don't get to study me. You know what I'm saying? Tyson, I still to this day feel Tyson don't go to jail. He ain't losing like that just to anybody. And yo, he was in jail for 3 years. Of course y'all caught up. You know what I'm saying? He came out a totally different man. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
But Buster.
Like this. I'm going to tell you like this. Buster caught him.
Yeah, he caught him.
He caught him. And my thing was this.
Anybody could get caught.
Everybody get caught. Because the crazy thing is this. Yes, we know he lost the fight. But if you actually seen the fight, he beat him. Tyson, the count
he won the fight.
He won the fight. That's on a moral side. We all like, they didn't count. You didn't count. If you saw it, you knew he was counted out. But they didn't count it right, and then you got dropped.
But we're not talking about Tyson. But he was looking for his mouthpiece and all that to get out.
No, after he got caught. That's the same. He got caught. What's the boy down there that y'all got? Rockman.
Oh yeah.
And he caught my man. You know what I'm saying? He did it. Then Lennox Lewis came back and washed him up. After that, that nigga was back in 5 seasons. You know what I'm saying? After that, but what you? I ain't gonna say that about Baltimore. Y'all safe. Y'all safe. You have to worry about that. But you look at comedy. Eddie Murphy. People consider him one of the best stand-ups. No, he might have had one of the best stand-ups. I don't really consider him no super stand-up comedian because he only had 2. Martin had 2. Martin had 2 as well too. But Eddie didn't hit the road the way Chappelle and all of them did. But I don't think he didn't hit the road because he couldn't. His trajectory was totally different than theirs. He was a movie star at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it was like after Saturday Night Live, he was like the first joint that they made the best of. And then they started making everybody else's, all other people's. But Eddie's was the one that opened the door for all that. Yo, by 82, 83, he was coming out with Trading Places. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that.
Can't say nothing. Yeah. But so, you got to acknowledge, because I hear you in your story, you talking about the influences, though.
Yes.
But you got to acknowledge the influence even on Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Richard is Dr. J, but Eddie was Michael Jordan. He brought it hugely to the masses. Because the opportunity was there. It was different opportunities.
That's not taking anything away from
That's not taking nothing away. Yeah, it's just Richard had movies. Yeah. He had Which Way Is Up and all this other stuff, Bustin' Loose. Yeah. Those are some of my best movies. Yeah. But Eddie, the door was opened up.
Yeah. And it was a different type of vehicle.
It was a different, exactly. The vehicle was totally different. But we got the juices out. Like to thank my man Cornell Dews for coming through, doing what he did. Little brother Devin Epp came late. If he was there earlier, it would have been wild. We finally got Will out of his uncool part.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
He's upset. And, know the trigger words now.
So, Andre 3000, I still like you. You still do your thing. Tariq, I still like you. Get your ass out of that top 10. This is Oshin. If you make it out of here.